Game played Saturday evening in Lansdowne Road. Game finished, you can see the result there. The Republic of Ireland 0, England 2, and of course 2 Irishmen scored the goals. You just couldn't make it up for this live sport. Rice and Grealish scored for England, but overall, Noel, in my opinion, as we said in the preview, England by far the better team. And in fact, I think a 2-0 defeat flattered us. It could have been 4 or 5. That's my thought.
Yeah, 2-0, Paul. I said even before the game 2-0, and it's probably the most realistic scoreline we were going to get, particularly on our side, because I think, as you said yourself, it could have been more. It probably should have been more, because I think Ireland in the second half were there for the taking of England if they really win for it. But no, look, it just confirms what we thought before the match, Paul. It confirmed where we are at the moment between the two sides. It's probably the biggest gap between the two sides in my lifetime. I know about yourself, go back even further than that, but it's it's always like chalk and cheese between the two sides, really. They are much more bigger and better outfit than us. They have players playing at the top leagues. Even a few of the players like Cole Palmer and Phil Foden weren't even involved in this, and that could have been made even worse. I mean, in midfield they killed us, all on the pitch really, but particularly in midfield they just controlled the tempo of the game. Funny enough, Paul, in the first 2 minutes I thought we did quite well. We had a few half chances. Malumbi had a header. I thought there was a little flick, there was a little touch onto the ball before he got to him. It sort of came to him all of a sudden, but still you should expect him to get that header on target. Sammy Smodics had a shot. Pickford saved. I thought Josie Bennett could hit it first time. Maybe test the keeper again. He tried to recycle it and get the ball into the box. Yeah, but once the first goal with England, it just killed everything that we were trying to do. Killed the momentum. Of course, it was of all men, it was Rice. It was poor defending, though, Paul. It was poor defending. It was a good ball from Trent, literally down the heart through our defence centre backs. Coleman and Collins and Doherty didn't cover Sons of Glory. Keller made a good save from Gordon, actually, but still no pressure on the ball when Gordon recycled it, crossed the ball into Harry Kane. Collins did well to block it, but it just fell perfectly to Declan Rice, who small ball on the run that Declan Rice made. Small one lost him. He had acres of space, and he just buried it and didn't celebrate. But look, it's up to himself how he wants to celebrate or not. He scored a goal, and he's with England now. People just have to get over it. But yeah, it was a real kick in the guts, Paul. To be honest with you, of all people to score against you, and then literally like on this graphic there, it says 26 minutes. Jack Grealish, good player from England. A few 1-2s from Kobe Menu and Saka, and Declan Rice set up the goal for Grealish, the assist and everything. And Grealish, Grealish is a bit more of a character than maybe Declan Rice. He celebrated, and look, he's entitled to celebrate. It's a goal he scored, plays for England. With his English fans, fair enough. 2-0, and it could and probably should have been more. Paul Kelleher kept us in the game. Well, I wouldn't say kept us in the game, but kept the scoring from being worse. It just showed like the levels we're at, where we can't compete with England. Home or away, like the away game, that's another defeat coming. Let's face it. But I think, to be fair to Heimer Hill Grimson, this day last week was his first time actually meeting the players for a training session. Yep. There was no, like, you were asking for miracles, Paul. If I think you're going to be able to get
can I come in there? Sorry, no, for some question. We made a great point there. If you go back to I call it FA Cup games, are massive underdogs. There's a few things that the underdog has to have. Number one, he has to have preparation time together to get ready. Ireland didn't have that. The manager only met the players last week, 5 or 6 days before them, and then they had a couple of training sessions. Number two, the underdog has to be confident and confident in themselves. The Irish team, their confidence is shot. You can see it straight away. And in fairness to the manager, I know did you see the press conference afterwards? He did mention it. When we should have shot, we passed, and vice versa. They're lacking confidence, and that unfortunately has been beaten out of them with defeats and bad defeats. And hopefully that will come in time with that. So we were never going to get but it's a great point. The first time the manager, and this has to go back to the FAI, the manager, the first time he saw his players actually up, kicking the ball in a training pitch and talking, that was only 4, 5 or 6 days beforehand. No, I might as well have been there. There's nothing he could do with that. You know what I mean with that? And there's no chance to prepare. Start the season. This was coming. So I thought we'll just hit one final comment and we move on to the game tomorrow night, which is a bigger one. But that's a great point you made, and just continue that there.
I think Roy Keane said it, like the whole debacle of Saipan, fail to prepare, prepare to fail. I mean, preparation is key in international football, Paul. You only have a certain amount of time with the training sessions, and he had less than 7 days to prepare against England, the team that only lost the European final about 5 or 6 weeks ago. So you're asking for a lot from one man to turn our fortunes around. Now, I did actually see the interview he did, I think, with RT, where he said his confidence is key and decision making. And yes, Ireland have a lot of experienced players on that pitch, but England, even the younger English players, are playing at a higher level. Decision making has to be quicker because they're playing a higher caliber of opponent. Most of Irish players in the Premier League now will be playing with teams like Everton, Ipswich Town, teams that are going to be fighting for relegation this season. Let's face it. I mean, Declan Rice is looking to try and win the Premier League with Arsenal. Other players in that team as well. Harry Kane is at Bayern Munich. He'll be expecting to win the Bundesliga this year and challenge for the Champions League. So that's how a couple of players there, Paul. So the levels they're at are much higher. Just a little bit disappointed we didn't make it more difficult for him. We gave away a sloppy goal in the first half at 11 minutes. And then the one thing I was hoping that when we were 1-0 down, get to at least half time, they keep the score down, don't concede the second. The fact that he took literally 10-15 minutes after the first goal, and the second came, and the game just died. The game just died. The atmosphere was like a burst balloon, Paul. The atmosphere was brilliant before the game. Obviously, the supporters did as much as they could to drive them on, but at the end of the day, Paul, supporters are react to what's happening on the pitch, and what was happening on the pitch wasn't great. But I don't blame Heimer for this defeat at all. As we said, this is his first game. He's only been with the team 6-7 days now as we're recording this. And even for tomorrow, Paul, I know we're